Hey guys, Crypto Dad here again, and the good people over at ELLIPAL have sent me one of their ELLIPAL Minis, an air-gapped cryptocurrency hardware wallet with a color touchscreen. They have also sent me the ELLIPAL Steel, which is a robust way of storing your backup phrase using metal medium rather than a flimsy piece of paper. So I'm going to get this ELLIPAL Mini unboxed and set up for you with some quick demos of sending and receiving, and then I will also incorporate the use of the ELLIPAL Steel into our setup when we back up our seed phrase. So let's jump in. All right, it's got kind of a parallelogram design on the outside. It's pretty interesting. And this color touchscreen, very nice. If you've never used an air-gapped wallet before, you'll notice that there are no connectors for USB cables or anything like that. There's only a connector for the power cable. They also don't use Bluetooth, NFC, or Wi-Fi of any kind. Everything is done through scanning of QR codes. That's why you'll notice that there is a camera on this side. All right, so here's our instruction manual. We've got a cable, our power connector, and they've even included an SD card for firmware updates. All right, and so there are some quick instructions here in English of the layout of the device, how you charge it, and a little diagram here about how you run the updates. Comes with a USB-C cable. Any standard USB-C cable will work, so I can use my own cable that I have connected to my own charging brick. And then notice that the SD card reader is on the charging brick. So when we run firmware updates, we'll use this. All right, notice that it comes with a couple of backup cards for backing up the seed phrase. We'll go ahead and employ the ELLIPAL Phrase Steel for that. Just want you to be aware that this device here is only for recording the seed phrase. It doesn't connect to anything. There's no interface. It doesn't store crypto or anything like that. It just holds the words of your backup phrase. The easiest way to use an ELLIPAL Steel is to, during the setup of the wallet, to just write down the seed phrase on a card temporarily. It'll make your setup that much smoother. And then when you're done and you've verified your seed phrase and everything, you can transfer it, the words, into the ELLIPAL Steel. The ELLIPAL Steel will provide you with several sets of tiles for spelling out your backup words. All right, so I went ahead and connected my power, and we can go ahead and scan this QR code to get started here. And we'll download the app. We can allow notifications, agree to the terms here, and then the next thing is to connect your cold wallet. All right, so we can stop there. All right, we'll continue on the device. I'll choose English. We've already done this part. And we can recover via seed phrase. That's the important thing I was saying about the seed phrase, is if we had lost an old device and we wanted to restore this new device to regain access to all of the crypto that we had stored on our old device, we would use this recover via seed phrase option. But in this case, we're setting up a brand new wallet. Let's hit create account. All right, we can call this whatever we want, whatever makes sense for you. All right, and then we're going to set a password on our device. All right, I'm going to stick with the default SegWit wallet format. I'm not going to use the passphrase. Let's move on to the next section here. Now it's going to give us the seed phrase, which we will write down. All right, they're going to give you some verbiage about the importance of the seed phrase. All right, so they're presenting the 12 words there. I'm going to write them down. Also, you want to be aware of the numbering. It's row by row. So make sure you write the words in order. The number of the word here is next to it, and the order of the words is very important, so make sure you write them down correctly. All right, once you've got your words written down, you'll advance to the next screen. All right, and what they want you to do here is tap the words in the correct order. So refer to your card and tap the words in order. All right, once you've tapped them in order, you can advance to the next screen. All right, so it says the backup is successful. All right, and then the next screen, we can enable the cryptocurrencies that we want to manage. Notice they've got several of the top ones already enabled. Bitcoin is enabled by default, but all of these others are already turned on. You can see there's quite a few of them that you can manage. Yeah, so the blue would be enabled, right? It looks like most of these are already enabled. So you might want to disable some or enable ones that aren't. It's entirely up to you. You could tap all if you want to. Let's hit OK here. And so basically now we're going to connect it to the phone app so that we can manage the cryptocurrency. We'll do that through scanning the QR codes. It's not going to be connected to the phone through cable or Bluetooth or anything like that. But first, let's check out some of the settings. We'll go up here. We can switch languages. We can change the screen lock. We can run the updates. I like to give myself a little more time. All right, let's set a PIN here. Let's enable that. This is just an unlock code that will make the device a little more locally secure. And then we have the option of changing it if we want to. All right, so now that we've set the PIN, we can set the screen lock time. 1 minute is a little bit short for me. I like to have a little more time while I'm using the device. It's all about your comfort. All right, now that we've checked out the settings, let's do the connection. We'll choose Connect to Cold Wallet, and then we'll tap this button here. And it wants us to scan the code on our wallet. So we'll generate that by using this icon over here in the corner next to the battery life indicator. This is the QR code. Now notice that for each crypto, there's a QR code. So you're going to want to hold your phone over these codes until it has had a chance to import all of the receiving addresses of all of the cryptos that you're managing. All right, so we'll just put the phone over here. Okay, this is just a reminder that you'll want to keep your firmware up to date. You'll notice along the bottom of your phone app is a list of all of the addresses, and as they get scanned in, they start to disappear. You'll notice them starting to disappear as we go. Okay, and there we go. We got them all. Okay, up here is where we can manage different wallets. But so now what we've got on the app is the public information for these wallets. We're done here. So this is the app where we can manage the crypto. We'll be able to see the balances, the transaction history, the current value in dollars. All that stuff is public. All of that stuff requires an internet connection. That's what your phone is used for. In order to authorize outgoing transactions, you will have to request a code from the device when you're trying to send out. So keep that in mind. The device is basically the key that locks up all of the cryptos that you're managing on your phone. So I'm going to give my wallet a chance to charge. Let's take our seed phrase and let's get out our ELLIPAL Steel. We're only going to need the first 4 letters. As you'll notice, there's only room for 4 tiles in each one. The first 4 letters are enough to identify the word. These words all come from an official list called the BIP39 word list. There's only 2,048 of them, and they're unique up to 4 characters. So There are no words that have the exact same 4 characters in the beginning. So once we have 4, we've got enough to identify the word in the list. So we'll go ahead and use BARE. All right, we need to take the plate off. If you hold it steady, you won't have to spill out the screws at all. You can just set it aside. All right, so there's a plastic backing here, and I would suggest keeping it on, or these things are just going to fall out everywhere. Only grab the letters we're going to need. I'm going to need one. I'm going to need a letter A. So that's how we'll place the word. And we'll just proceed to do all of the 12 words. Notice that the word list is in the same orientation here. And then when we put this back on, these words are numbered in the correct orientation. And there you go. It's very tedious work, so make sure that you set aside enough time to get this done correctly. But once you do, you'll have your seed phrase stored in a very robust format that you can put somewhere safe and secure. And then you can close it. One of the things that I would suggest when hiding your ELLIPAL steel is to put it somewhere where it blends in with other metal. Don't bury it in a cardboard box in your backyard. Someone with a metal detector could probably find that. So maybe stick it somewhere where there's other steel, like somewhere in your car or in your oven or anything that's metal. Try to keep it close to that so that someone searching for it with a metal detector is not going to find it. I'm sure a lot of thieves use metal detector to find people's hidden gold and silver coins. So keep that in mind when you're hiding this, but just make sure it's somewhere safe and secure and somewhere you will remember. All right, so as I promised, I'm going to show you how to do a send and receive, and we'll use Bitcoin in our example. It's best to generate a receiving address directly on the device because the private key is held safely and securely offline, and the device is capable of generating the receiving address. Right. You can also use the app to generate your receiving address. It is synced up to these wallets, and it has the public information that was exported. So you can do a receive from the app, but the best thing is to double check that receiving address with the receiving address on the device itself if you're going to do it that way. Notice that these two receiving addresses are exactly the same. And I'm going to transfer some crypto from my Kraken account. So if we go into my Kraken app, you can see that I have some Bitcoin in my account. And I would like to send that to the offline wallet. So I have the address right here. Let's go up to these 3 dots and we're going to use withdraw. So I'm withdrawing the Bitcoin from my Kraken to my wallet. So I'll tap withdraw. I'm going to use the Bitcoin network. So I'll go ahead and send the max. If you're doing this for the first time and you have a lot of Bitcoin in one of your cryptocurrency accounts, please do small tests first to make sure they get where you intend them to go. And then for the address, I'm going to want to add a new withdrawal address. This is the first time I've ever sent Bitcoin to this particular wallet. So I'll choose add withdrawal address. And then over here, you see this little QR code icon. I'm going to tap that so that it opens up the camera on my phone and I can scan this address with my phone, right? So I've successfully scanned the receiving address of my offline wallet into my Kraken app. I'll hit continue here. I'm going to call this one ELLIPAL. I'll call it my ELLIPAL Mini. And I'll also designate it as a BTC address because I want to be more precise here. So we'll hit continue. We've got all that in. They sent me an email. I just need to confirm that address. Alrighty. Now that we've confirmed that address through email on Kraken, we can just find the address in our list here. All right, there it is, ELLIPAL Mini. All right, so we've got the address, we've got the amount, we're ready to roll. Let's hit review. There's a breakdown of what we're going to do, and then I'll swipe to withdraw. All right, so the Bitcoin is on its way to my cold wallet. So I just want to give you a quick word about how offline cold wallets, or really any hardware wallet, works. You can generate receiving addresses, right? The private key of the wallet is stored on this device, and it is capable of generating a receiving address on the device. However, you will not be able to see your balance from this interface. This only stores the private key. Any balances, incoming transactions, transaction histories, all that stuff is on the public blockchain. All of that sort of information needs an internet connection. This device does not connect to the internet. It generates a random master private key, and from that was able to generate all of these specific wallet addresses. But it cannot view balances. That requires an internet connection. That's what your app is for. Right? So let's go over to the app, and we'll wait for the Bitcoin to come in on the app. It's going to take a few minutes. Withdrawals from cryptocurrency accounts do have some processing time. So we're going to need to wait a few minutes for the Bitcoin to actually hit our wallet. But rest assured, even though you cannot see the balance on this device, your app is going to give you the public information. You can view your balances in the app. Don't freak out if you can't see your balance on your device. That's the way it's designed. All right, and now you can see from the phone app that the Bitcoin has arrived in the wallet. Now I'm going to show you how to send the Bitcoin out from the cold wallet. And this is the tricky part. We're going to set up our send. First thing we'll do, we need a destination. I'll just send this to a different place than I did before. I'll send it back to Coinbase this time. This would be the scenario where you've decided you want to sell some of your crypto and you want to send it out from your wallet. All right, so I'm going to do a transfer and receive, and I'll choose Bitcoin, and there's my Bitcoin address, right? I've copied it into my clipboard. I'm going to go back over to the ELLIPAL wallet, and I'm going to go into the Bitcoin account, and I will do a send. All right, now I'll go ahead and send the max. Like I said, if you have a lot of Bitcoin, you should always do small tests first. So I'm just going to paste in that address that I copied from Coinbase. So in this case, I'm just going to leave the fee as it is. I'll hit submit. All right, and so here is the request code, right? All right, I need to scan this with my device. All right, so we'll go into the Bitcoin and we'll choose sign. Okay, we're going to need our password. We'll hit confirm here. All right, now the camera starts. We're signing the transaction, so I need to scan the request from the app. So I will hold the device over. All right, so it wants me to check everything very carefully. So we'll hit got it. This is the outgoing transaction. There's the amount of Bitcoin. There's where we're sending the Bitcoin. I recognize that address, but you might want to double check it in your app just to make sure it's the same address. All right, now I'll choose OK. There is the approval code. The cold wallet has generated the approval code for the outgoing transaction because I authorized it. Now I need to go back to the app and choose signed data QR code. All right, the camera opens up. I scan it with the app. Alrighty. And so those are the steps, right? You have to generate the request for the send from the app. You have to use the hardware wallet to scan that QR code, which brings the request into the device, right? No cables, no Bluetooth, no NFC. We simply scan the QR code with our camera. Once we had the request on the hardware device, we were able to authorize the transaction and generate that authorization code. That's how air-gapped wallets work. All right, we're done with that. Go back to the home screen. You'll notice that the app now shows the outgoing transaction. This is our transaction list. Tells me that it's in progress. It'll take it a few minutes to confirm on the blockchain, and then we'll just look at it over in our Coinbase account and double check. All right, and we can see from the app now that the outgoing transaction was successful. We can go over to my Coinbase account and see that the Bitcoin that I transferred has arrived. So if you have any questions about anything I did, please throw them up in the comments and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click. That will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon.